All right, mates, today we're wrapping up AI in Q1 2025, and bloody hell, it's been a whirlwind already.
It has been, hasn't it?
New models or razor-sharp apps are popping off, but the job fears and the privacy chaos. Brutal. Is this the future we've been holding out for?
Big questions, eh?
Huge ones. But before we dive in, quick note, over 60% of you listening aren't following us yet.
Really?
Yeah, so hit that follow button, collect us on pods.media, and let's keep the good stuff coming. Cheers, guys. So trying to make sense of this absolute deluge of AI news we've seen from January to March, right?
It's a lot to keep up with.
It really is. That's precisely what this deep dive is for. We're sifting through it all.
Absolutely.
To bring you the crucial bits.
Yeah, you've likely seen the headlines flash by.
Right.
But what we're doing is taking a more considered look at the significant AI advancements.
Yeah.
The genuinely innovative ways these technologies are being applied. And some of the major talking points that have emerged in just these first 3 months of the year.
Absolutely, and the speed is remarkable.
It really is.
It's incredible. AI's influence is expanding so rapidly.
Exponentially, it seems.
Yeah, and we've pulled together information from all sorts of places, major tech announcements, industry reports, even the buzz online.
Yep, gotta have our finger on the pulse.
Absolutely. Think of this as your streamlined guide to understanding the key happenings in the AI landscape this quarter.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, knowing what the announcements were. It's about understanding their real significance, identifying the trends that are taking shape, and ultimately what all of this could mean for you in the near future.
The big picture.
Precisely. Yeah. So where should we begin unpacking all of this?
Well, let's dive straight into the powerhouses, I guess. The new AI models that have made their debut. First up, OpenAI's GPT-5, which arrived around Valentine's Day, February 15th.
Ah, yes, GPT-5.
The scale of this thing is hard to even grasp.
It is massive.
Apparently, it's built with something like 100 trillion parameters.
Yeah, that's the figure that's been thrown around.
Now, for those of us who aren't deep in the tech,
right,
what does that colossal number actually translate to in terms of performance?
Well, think of those parameters as the intricate web of connections within the AI's neural network.
Right.
So the more connections, the more complex the understanding it can achieve, much like a human brain developing more synapses as it learns. With 10 times the parameters of its predecessor, GPT-4, the reports indicate a substantial leap toward what's being called near-human reasoning.
Right. Near-human.
It's getting closer.
That's a scary thought.
It is for some people, yeah.
And what's particularly groundbreaking is that this isn't limited to text anymore.
No, it's multimodal now.
GPT-5 can now process and understand text, images, and audio.
Yep, with this enhanced level of intelligence, it's pretty remarkable.
There were even hints dropped by OpenAI on X about multimodal upgrades.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the idea that it could, for instance, generate a podcast script from a simple sketch.
Oh, wow. So, we're out of a job then.
That's it, man. We're done.
Pack it in.
That's pretty mind-bending.
It is, isn't it?
And it's integrated with the tools that a lot of people are already using, like ChatGPT and Dell E3, right?
Precisely. It's like putting a much more powerful engine into already impressive vehicles. And the early feedback is quite telling.
Yeah. What have you heard?
For example, there were reports of it quickly solving university-level mathematics problems in early tests.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that really underscores the sheer processing capability we're talking about.
Right. A serious step up.
Yeah, kidding.
Then we have Google throwing their hat in the ring with Gemini 2.0.
Yes, Gemini.
Which launched just a bit earlier on January 10th. This came after the significant merging of their DeepMind and Google Brain research teams.
Right.
A real powerhouse of AI talent coming together there.
For sure, the best of both worlds.
Yeah. What's the main focus with Gemini 2.0?
The emphasis with Gemini 2.0 appears to be on its enhanced abilities in handling multiple languages. We're talking about superior accuracy in translating over 50 languages compared to previous models.
Wow, that's impressive.
It really is performing exceptionally well across a range of what are called multimodal benchmarks. Think of multimodal simply as the AI's ability to understand and work with different types of information together, text, images, audio, and so on. These benchmarks are like standardized tests for AI. And Gemini 2.0 is showing strong versatility, plus the user numbers are massive. Over 300 million reported monthly visits. That gives you a sense of its immediate scale and reach.
Yeah, it's already huge.
It is. is.
So we got these two major players pushing the boundaries of what AI models can do.
Yeah, they're really setting the pace.
But all this sophisticated software needs some serious muscle behind it, right?
Absolutely.
The hardware has to keep up.
So you can't have these significant advancements in AI capabilities without the underlying silicon power.
And the first quarter of 2025 has seen some notable progress on the hardware front as well.
It has indeed.
Let's talk about those all-important chips then. NVIDIA's Blackwell GB200 GPUs, it generated a lot of buzz at their GTC conference in March.
Right. NVIDIA always makes a splash.
What's the key takeaway with these new chips?
Well, these are their next-generation high-performance computing chips, and the reported improvements are quite substantial.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking at a performance leap of around 50% compared to their already powerful H200 series.
Wow.
Perhaps even more importantly, they're claiming a 20 to 30% reduction in power consumption.
That's huge.
It is, considering the enormous energy demands of training and running large AI models, that increased efficiency is a really significant development.
Definitely. And these aren't exactly cheap pieces of kit, are they?
No, they're not.
I saw some online chatter about the potential costs.
Yeah, early estimates suggest a price tag of around $30,000 per unit.
Ouch.
Yeah, these aren't going to be in your average laptop. However, despite the hefty cost, there seems to be strong early demand.
Really?
Yes, companies like Tesla, for instance, are reportedly among the first to adopt them.
Interesting.
Likely for the continued development of self-driving technologies where that immense processing power is absolutely critical.
Right. Those vehicles need to make split-second decisions.
Exactly. They need all the power they can get.
And NVIDIA isn't the only game in town when it comes to AI hardware, is it?
But not at all. We're seeing advancements from multiple players.
Okay, like who?
Well, TSMC, the world's largest chip manufacturer, is likely to have begun production of their 2-nanometer chips in February.
Okay.
Now, when you talk about nanometer size in chips, smaller generally means more transistors can be packed onto the same area,
Right.
leading to faster and more energy-efficient processors, exactly what AI development needs.
Gotcha.
And then you have companies like Amazon with their own Trainium 2 chips, really starting to compete more directly with NVIDIA's dominant position in the market.
So it's hotting up then.
It's becoming a more diverse and competitive landscape for AI hardware, that's for sure.
So the brains and the brawn are both getting some serious upgrades.
They are.
Now let's look at how all this raw power and clever software is actually being applied in the real world.
Oh, okay.
Where are we seeing the most interesting innovations?
This is where you see the potential impact of AI really start to take shape, moving beyond the theoretical capabilities and into practical applications across a wide spectrum of industries.
Let's start with healthcare, a field where AI has the potential to make a truly profound difference.
It does.
What were some of the key developments there in the first quarter?
We've seen some very promising advancements in areas like the early detection of diseases. Companies like PathAI and Enlytic are reporting impressive accuracy rates over 90% in identifying cancerous cells in medical images.
Incredible.
Some reports even suggest this is more accurate than what many human radiologists can achieve.
Wow.
That has obvious and potentially life-saving implications for earlier diagnosis and treatment.
Absolutely. And it's not just about spotting problems, is it?
No, it's not.
AI is also being used in how we treat them.
Exactly. The field of personalized medicine is benefiting greatly from AI's ability to analyze vast amounts of genetic information.
Right.
This is being used to predict how individual patients might respond to different medications with the goal of significantly reducing adverse side effects.
Okay.
There are reports suggesting this could lead to a reduction of around 25% in drug side effects.
That's amazing.
Furthermore, a hospital in London conducted a trial using AI to aid in diagnosis, and they found it actually halved the time taken to reach a diagnosis for certain conditions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in critical situations, that kind of speed can be a game changer for patient outcomes.
Absolutely. Life or death, even.
Potentially, yes.
Moving to the world of finance, another sector that generates mountains of data.
It does, doesn't it?
How is AI making its mark there?
One of the key areas is in combating fraud. AI-powered systems are becoming increasingly sophisticated at detecting suspicious financial activity, leading to a reported 40% reduction in false positives.
That's huge.
Meaning fewer legitimate transactions are flagged as suspicious.
Right.
They're also getting much better at identifying new and evolving scam tactics in real time, which is crucial in a landscape where fraudsters are constantly adapting.
And what about investments?
Yeah.
I know those automated investment platforms, the robo-advisors, been around for a while now.
They have, but they're becoming much more sophisticated, thanks to AI. Companies like Wealthfront are now managing significantly more assets. The reported total has jumped from $30 billion to $50 billion in the last year.
Wow.
The AI behind these platforms continuously analyzes market data to make minute-by-minute adjustments to investment portfolios.
It's incredible.
It is. We also saw reports of Barclays Bank achieving substantial savings around $100 million just from using AI to enhance their fraud detection processes.
Wow, so these are real, tangible benefits.
Absolutely.
From managing our money to shaping young minds.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about education.
Right.
How is AI impacting the way we learn and teach?
We're seeing a noticeable increase in the adoption of AI-powered tutoring systems in schools.
Okay.
The percentage of schools using them has doubled in the past year, going from 5% to 10%.
Interesting.
And the reported benefits are quite compelling, with some studies indicating an average 30% improvement in overall learning outcomes for students using these tools.
Wow.
Specifically in mathematics, students using AI tutors have shown an average score increase of around 15%.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant boost in performance.
It is.
And it's not just small startups involved in this, is it?
No.
Major education players are getting in on the action.
Exactly. Pearson, for example, has launched an AI tutor that offers 247 support to students.
Oh, wow.
This not only provides students with learning assistance whenever they need it, but is also reportedly reducing teacher workload by as much as a third.
That's huge.
It is that could free up educators to focus more on personalized instruction and other crucial aspects of teaching.
Now, for a slightly different beat, let's talk about music.
Okay.
I've seen some really interesting developments around AI and how artists and fans are connecting.
Yes, it's a fascinating area.
It is.
AI is enabling new forms of interaction and even ownership within the music industry. Platforms like Royal are allowing fans to invest directly in tracks from their favorite artists.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
And they've already seen a significant $50 million in fan investments.
Wow.
Notable artists like Nas and Diplo are participating in this, and it's not just about supporting artists financially.
Right.
Fans who acquire these digital assets, often in the form of NFTs, have collectively earned a substantial amount of money. One report highlighted that $600,000 was earned from just 333 NFTs.
Wow. So the fans are making bank as well.
They are. It's a new model.
That's a whole new way for artists to fund their work and for fans to share in the success.
It is.
And there are other platforms exploring this intersection of AI and music ownership, right?
Yes, there are. Audius is another key player in this space. They have a large and growing user base, around 10 million, and they're utilizing their own cryptocurrency UDIO tokens to pay artists directly.
Interesting.
The growth in payments to artists through this platform has been exponential, jumping from $2 million in 2023 to $20 million in 2024.
It's really taking off. So AI is even disrupting creative industries like music in pretty significant ways.
It really is.
What about the everyday technology that most of us use regularly?
Yeah.
Are there any noteworthy AI integrations there?
Absolutely. Think about your daily video calls on platforms like Zoom.
Right?
They've recently introduced AI-powered features that can automatically generate summaries of meetings.
Oh, that's cool.
Which can be a huge time saver for everyone involved.
Yeah, especially if they're long meetings.
Especially those, yeah. And then there's the rapidly evolving field of autonomous vehicles and drones. Shield AI, for instance, recently secured a substantial funding round of $240 million with a clear focus on developing increasingly sophisticated autonomous drones. There's even speculation that they might be ready to roll out delivery bots by Christmas.
Oh, wow. So AI is coming for our jobs, and now it's going to be delivering our parcels as well.
Looks like it, yeah.
So from helping doctors diagnose illnesses to summarizing our meetings and potentially delivering our packages, AI seems to be weaving its way into more and more aspects of our lives.
It really is becoming increasingly pervasive, touching a wide range of human activities.
Now, looking ahead into the rest of 2025, what are some of the key AI trends that you think will be particularly important to watch?
Several interesting trends are starting to gain momentum. One that's particularly noteworthy is the growth of what's called Edge AI.
Edge AI.
Yes.
Okay, for those of us less familiar with the term, can you give us a quick rundown?
Certainly think of Edge AI as the movement of AI processing capabilities away from centralized cloud servers and onto individual devices themselves.
Okay.
Things like your smartphone, smart home devices, or even vehicles. Gartner, a technology research firm, predicts that around 20% of AI-related tasks could be processed locally on these edge devices by as early as June of this year.
Oh, wow, so soon.
Yeah, the primary advantages of this approach are faster processing speeds, as the data doesn't need to travel back and forth to the cloud, and enhanced privacy, as sensitive information can be processed and remain on your device.
That makes sense.
We're already seeing reports of companies like Apple exploring this for potential upgrades to their on-device Siri capabilities.
So quicker responses and keeping your data more secure.
Precisely.
What other trends should we keep an eye on?
Another area with significant potential while still in the early stages is quantum AI.
Quantum AI.
Yes, major technology companies like Google, IBM, and Microsoft are actively pursuing breakthroughs in applying quantum computing to AI.
Right.
There's anticipation of potential advancements in this field, perhaps as early as the fourth quarter of this year, with an initial focus on accelerating complex tasks like the discovery of new drugs and materials.
Quantum AI. That sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does a bit, doesn't it?
And what about the regulatory landscape we touched on earlier?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a major theme as the year progresses. There's a potential United Nations summit planned for June that could represent a significant step towards establishing some form of global guidelines and regulations for AI development and deployment.
So it's getting serious then.
It is, unsurprisingly. Many technology companies are already actively preparing for this and engaging in discussions and lobbying efforts.
Right. So we might see some initial frameworks for international AI governance starting to emerge.
You might well do, yes.
And finally, beyond the advancements in AI models and hardware, what's happening on the creative front as we look towards the rest of the year?
The field of creative AI is expanding rapidly beyond just music, while platforms like Royal are innovating in music ownership. The potential for AI to assist in the creation of films, video game worlds, and other forms of digital art is becoming increasingly tangible. There's speculation that we might see some significant developments in this area by the end of the year, with companies like Disney reportedly exploring the possibilities of AI in script writing and game design.
Films and games.
Yeah.
That's going to open up a whole new realm of creative possibilities. So bring it all together. What are the key overarching themes that have defined the first quarter of 2025 in the world of AI?
Well, we've witnessed undeniable and rapid progress in the fundamental building blocks of AI. The underlying models have become significantly more capable, and the hardware powering them has seen substantial performance gains. This has in turn fueled a surge of innovation in how AI is being applied across a diverse range of sectors, from transforming healthcare and finance to changing how we learn, create, and interact with technology every day.
It's certainly been a period of intense activity and development.
It has.
And for you listening, if you've felt like trying to keep pace with all the AI news has been overwhelming,
yeah, it's a lot to take in.
We hope this deep dive has provided you with a clearer and more structured understanding of the key events and trends of the first quarter of 2025.
Our aim was to not just recount the headlines,
Right.
but to also offer some context and insight into why these developments are significant and what potential implications they might hold for the future. It's a complex and rapidly evolving field, and staying informed is essential.
Absolutely. So here's a final thought to consider. Reflecting on the incredible advancements and the significant discussions that have unfolded in the realm of AI during just this first quarter of 2025, what single area of development do you believe will ultimately have the most profound and lasting impact on society?
Well, that's a tough one.
It's a big question.
It is.
Is it the breakthroughs in medical diagnosis, the reshaping of entire industries through automation, or perhaps the ongoing evolution of how we interact with information and technology in our daily lives?
All huge areas.
Yeah.
Really fundamental shifts.
We encourage you to think about the balance between technological progress and its broader societal implications.
Yes, it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, definitely not.
There are some big challenges ahead.
Absolutely, as we continue to navigate this rapidly advancing era of artificial intelligence.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It is.